What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are having a good day. Got a little bit of a different video tonight. I've just been feeling real nostalgic lately, and I was wondering if you guys ever thought about your childhood, things like that. I'm like a 87. I was born in 87, so I'm an 80s baby technically, but grew up in the 90s, in the 2000s, early 2000s, and I don't know, man, I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and it just seems like times were a lot more simpler back then. And I know every older person says that. Me being Saturday, I'll be 38, so millennial technically, and I don't know. It's not to say that my life's great right now. It's good. Got a good job. Frustrates me sometimes, not gonna lie, but it's still a good job. It's decent money. Got a awesome wife, my best friend, and good family, things like that. But sometimes I miss those times, in the 90s, growing up. I remember, I was thinking about it the other day. I remember when I was growing up, I would get up on Saturday and get me some cereal, watch some cartoons, things like that, and then about 10 or so I'd go outside, take off on my bike, and I'd be gone all day. And we had no cell phones back then, so my parents had no way of contacting me other than calling the neighbor's house phone, asking if I was over there. And my parents and all our parents as 90s kids kind of just let us figure things out as kids, not worried about where we are, and knew we were good kids. They could trust us. And I remember the only way I would come home was my dad would step outside and yell over the neighborhood for me to come home. And it's just wild that that's how we grew up. I think kids miss that nowadays. Kids are gonna definitely have a different childhood than we did. There's so much technology now. Every kid, is glued to a screen. I feel like kids don't have a lot of imagination, or as much as we did back then. But it was cool. It was a cool childhood. I feel like toys back then were a lot more cool, more fun. I don't know, man. It's just weird. And I think I remember my parents' house was beside some woods, and then my other friend was on the other side of the woods. So we had a lot that hadn't been bought, and we played in those woods all day. Everybody would play in them. Paintball, hide and seek, things like that. Yeah, it was cool. I miss it sometimes. And I feel like we didn't really know what was going on in the world, so maybe that's why I felt like the world wasn't as bad as it is now. Because we weren't plugged in all the time like kids are nowadays and teenagers are now. And I feel like a lot of people are trying to go back, especially with cell phones. I've heard a lot of people going back to dummy phones and phones that aren't like a supercomputer. I've even thought about it, to be honest, because it does get old. You don't really want to get on TikTok, but you get on TikTok, or at least I do. It's like, I don't know, it's like you're addicted to it kind of, but it's like you don't want to be. it's hard, you know, because, and I'm not trying to bitch or anything on this video, because I love my life now. Like I said, I do have a lot of good things going for me, which is good. But I feel like I heard a statement, and I'm just rambling, so if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna ramble on my way to work. I heard a statement that said, it was a millennial guy on TikTok, obviously, and it said, why are millennials so nostalgic? Why do they miss their childhood? Why do they think their childhood was the best childhood to grow up in? And he said it's because millennials grew up in the best time to be a child or a kid, but are now in the worst time to be an adult. And I don't know if I agree with that or not. I just thought that was pretty, like, a deep statement, because like our childhood was awesome. 90s kids, you know, all that stuff going on, and now the way the economy and like housing market, jobs and all that stuff, it's kind of, I can kind of see where he's coming from, but at the end of the day, it's all perspective, you know. It's how you think, it's how your attitude, and I try to like think to myself that at least I grew up in the 90s and I got to live through that, and it was just cool, man. Kids nowadays won't understand what 90s kids went through. I mean, even school back then I felt was like really fun. I think teachers made us kids want to go to school, made everything colorful, and like gym class was awesome. With y'all remember the parachute? The parachute was cool. You know, you would throw the parachute up and get under it, run, and things like that. School lunches were awesome, and I don't know. I miss the 90s. I even thought about making a separate channel specifically for the 90s. You know, like seeing if I can get some Surge or like some Pogs and things like that, and just like review them and put them on the channel. I might just do that on TikTok. But yeah, if you grew up in the 90s, let me know some of your favorite memories. I feel like Christmas was cooler in the 90s, and it's probably because I'm an adult now. And, you know, Christmas isn't like Christmas anymore. I don't know. Just a rambling video on my way to work. Just missing the good old days, I guess. But yeah, so that's my video for the day. I might seriously do something about 90s stuff, because I do love it and I miss it. But hope you guys are having a good week. Another 7-day week this week. So happy Mother's Day. If I don't see you before Sunday, to all the mothers out there. If your mom's still around, you know, be thankful. Give her a hug and a kiss. Tell her you appreciate her. Because 90s moms were beasts, not gonna lie. I know with me at least, like I wasn't a bad kid by no means, but like I got in some stuff, you know what I mean? So if you grew up in the 90s especially, hug your mom, tell her thank you, if you love her or whatever. But anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, alright? I'll talk to you in my next video. Peace.